And Mind Crypto here. I hope we're all having a wonderful day. Please remember, I'm not a financial advisor and none of this is financial advice, and none of the information provided in this video should ever be taken as a signal to buy or to sell. Please remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any further videos, and drop me a comment. So we look at the crypto bubbles as usual, and as we can see, it's a bit greener today than over the weekend. Quant is currently ranked at 79 and market cap of $1.46 billion and a price of $121 after its drop yesterday. And we've seen a 24-hour volume of 35 million. Now, we also saw this yesterday, which is quite interesting. So this wallet started accumulating again, its second transaction after a month's pause. CB to private wallet of 4,561, a total value of $535,000. And many believe the big players aren't accumulating. No outflows, only hold Quant. Now, we can also see that this started in February this year. So there are many, many wallets like this. I believe possibly this wallet will join the other big wallets up at $4 million. So let's fingers crossed. Remember, this is all speculation. We can only speculate at this stage. So we also see this awesome news. Now, SDX Digital Exchange. Now, I'm going to explain why this is so important, but let's go through it. So they say we're excited to announce that the digital bonds of the city of Lugano and the city of St. Gallen was successfully issued and settled on production platform of SDX on the 7th and 8th of March 2024. This achievement marks yet another pivotal moment in financial history. Here's what you need to know. Both bonds were issued in context of the pilot project Helvetia Phase 3 that enables settlement on SDX in CHF wholesale CBDC. Settlement capability, these bonds can be held and settled in both the CSD of SDX, leveraging both blockchain technology as well as 6 SIS. Dual listing advantage, the bonds are dual listed, providing access to trading on both exchanges, SDX and 6 Swiss exchange. We extend our congratulations to the city of Lugano and St. Gallen for their contribution to shaping the future of finance and the involved banks in the transaction. Joint leads were the city of Lugano and St. Gallen. So very, very interesting. Now, why is this so important? Now, we move over to a post from San back in September 2022. SDX is launching a wholesale CBDC this year. So where did Quant and SDX overlap in the past? So we follow this. We can see world's first wholesale CBDC, a conversation with Alexandra Ketch, head of digital securities at 6 Digital Exchange. And we see this. Andrew Carrier, the European heatwave is stifling. And we can see Andrew Ketch, beautiful grand place in Brussels. We also see this. Quant, we are unleashing the power of networks as connected as the world we live in. We can see 6 Digital Exchange. What do you think it will take for blockchain interoperability? Read our view and we can see this. And they put a poll out and we see Tech Advance like Quant, 95%. We can also see this from 6 Digital Exchange. To become architects of the future, we must first acknowledge that we are playing a fundamentally different competitive game with new rules compared to the one we played in the past. And they tagged Quant within that. And we can also see Meet SDX, Quant Network and Supra Oracles at the Future of Finance 3 event and deep dive into the topic of security tokens, their use case for blockchain technology and how they can transform economics and operating model of the securities industry. We also see this. Have you heard of Project Jura? Join us on the 24th February to learn about cross-border settlement using wholesale CBDC. And we got the Project Jura here, Essentia, which we talked about in the past, Quant, Ripple, SDX and RTGS, which we've also talked about, all linking together. We also see this, Martin Curtoni, head of strategy and new business, SDX, and founder, CEO of Quant, who was also a panelist at one of their talks. But no official press release. SDX doesn't announce any tech suppliers besides DLT used, Corda, and we know who working with Corda. Don't be the dummy to think that SDX and Quant don't work together. Now, we also see this. The same infra is used in all 3 trials. And we can see it. The same infrastructure has already been used in 3 previous wholesale CBDC trials, Project Jura and Projects Helvetia 1 and 2. From a legal perspective, a CBDC is quite different. Now, we move over to SEC, because I thought this was an absolutely cracking thread here. The Swiss stock exchange, $2 trillion market cap, will be launching SIX Exchange, the world's first regulated digital market infrastructure using DLT. Work is being done with the Swiss central bank around a wholesale CBDC. Let's see how Quant could be used. Now let's have a listen to this.
The Swiss National Bank, the Bank for International Settlements Innovation Hub, and SIX have joined forces as part of Project Helvetia to investigate how central bank money could be integrated into a distributed ledger technology-based financial market infrastructure. The project consists of two proof of concepts. Both test the functional feasibility of settling tokenized assets, which are traded and settled on the SIX digital exchange in central bank money. In proof of concept number 1, the cash leg of the transaction is settled with a wholesale central bank digital currency, wholesale CBDC, issued directly onto the DLT infrastructure of SDX by the Swiss National Bank. As part of proof of concept number 1, 4 use cases were investigated: issuance or tokenization of wholesale CBDC, redemption or detokenization of wholesale CBDC, delivery versus payment settlement of tokenized assets against wholesale CBDC, and transfer of wholesale CBDC or wholesale CBDC payment. In proof of concept number 2, interoperability between the DLT infrastructure of SDX and the Swiss RTGS system SIC is established, and the cash leg of the transaction is settled in SIC balances. As part of proof of concept number 2, 1 use case was investigated: delivery versus payment settlement of tokenized assets against SIC balances.
There you go. Very, very interesting. And as we can see, SIX operates the Swiss Interbank Clearing SIC system, the RTGS system for the Swiss National Bank, central bank, as well as running Switzerland's National Central Securities Depository. SIX are also owned by around 122 domestic and international financial institutions. And we also see this. Project Helvetia successfully demonstrated the settling of tokenized assets with the wholesale CBDC and with linking a DLT platform to existing legacy payment systems in collaboration with SIX, SMB, and the Bank of International Settlements. Quant could be used with both the proof of concepts demonstrated, but we'll just briefly cover the first one, which involved the issuance of wholesale CBDC for delivery versus payment settlement involving 2 commercial banks. Full text diagram can be seen below, and as we've seen in the video there. The process begins with a commercial bank sending funds to the Swiss Interbank Clearing SIC payment system, which triggers an ISO 222 message from SIC to the SNB node in SDX. SDX uses R3's Corda, and so a solution such as Quant can be used to provide the interoperability layer between the legacy system and the DLT system. By being able to trigger the ISO message, Quant's Overledger DLT gateway, based on ISO standards, then translates that message through its single scalable API and converts it into a format that R3 Corda node on SDX can interpret. Upon receiving the message, the SMB node then issues the equivalent amount of wholesale CBDC on Ledger, which can then be used for delivery versus payment settlement of securities, whilst at the same time ensuring that SDX isn't locked into one underlying blockchain platform and that it's able to seamlessly integrate with existing networks as well as any other DLT solutions at scale, whether that be Corda, Ethereum, Hyperledger, or other DLT. The importance of this was stressed in a recent blog. Quant is actually providing solutions for 5 of those predictions. And we can see here, in order to rebuild the system of tomorrow, we must design them with the end goal in mind. And we see interoperability. We continue to see startups and institutions alike designing DLT-based infrastructure and applications that are non-specific to layer 1 technology deployed. This is crucial as global use cases on leading blockchain platforms include Corda, Ethereum, Hyperledger, continue to roll out enterprise-grade cross-chain features, adapting to the growing trend. Just as with any financial market infrastructure system in use today, if it is only available for one specific use technology protocols, widespread adoption and access will be highly limited by silos in which technology-specific protocols breed. In order to rebuild the systems of tomorrow, we must design them with the end goal in mind. Quant's multi-ledger tokens solution not only enables the issuance of CBDCs, stablecoins, and fiat funds on legacy systems, but it also enables them to be used across any DLT, a mixture of DLT public and private, whilst maintaining a clear, auditable record of ownership. This is important for mass adoption, opening up the wall gardens of different DLT solutions and being able to seamlessly integrate and move across any of them. Consumers, merchants, etc. don't all need to use the same platform. Phase 2 of Project Helvetia expands the integration further by integrating wholesale CBDCs into core banking systems, as well as exploring cross-border use cases with wholesale CBDCs. 6 have partnered with SBI in a joint venture connecting SDX with the Singapore-based digital issuance platform. This is an important step in building the necessary global infrastructure for widespread institutional adoption of digital assets. So we also see here Quant are working with multiple central banks around CBDCs, as well as with work in capital markets. And as we can see here, lots of talk, even from Gilbert Verdian. Central banks will talk about what we're doing. We've also got here Gilbert Verdian, who says we're not talking to SDX. So things are getting very, very interesting. There is so much going on in the background which hasn't been made public yet. And we see here from 6 Digital Exchange, to become architects of the future, we must first acknowledge that we are playing a fundamentally different competitive game with new rules. And we've got Quant included into that. So very, very interesting. Now, we see this from 6 and very, very interesting. You might be asking, when is all this going to come to some fruition? And the collaboration will involve, I won't pronounce them, you can read across here. We've got UBS involved in that as existing SDX member banks. In addition to SDX platform, the pilot uses an infrastructure of Swiss interbank clearing, as we've just heard, SIC, which is operated by 6 and 6 SIS and the National Central Securities Depository, the CSD of Swiss Financial Bank, and International Central Securities Depository. The pilot will run from December 2023 to June 2024. So we're going to see, hopefully, after June 2024, some big news from SDX and what's going on with all these projects, Project Jura, Project Helvetia. So looking very, very interesting. And as we can see here, they put news out today about the achievement that marks yet another pivotal moment in financial history. And we think Quant is included in that. So there you go, guys. Some very, very interesting news there. Keeping up to date with everything else that's going on. I'm Patient. All the best, and I'll catch you later.